Welcome to the real Ramblers movie talk for fanatics. The real Ramblers movie talk for fanatics. And now your hosts, Bill and Lee Howard.
Hello! Welcome to the Real Ramblers. My name is Bill, and this is my brother Lee.
Hello.
Don't do my hello.
I was doing it from
Use
a
your
Seinfeld
own
bit.
hello.
Okay.
No, that's my
Hello.
That's better.
There we go.
That's better.
Signature.
Now go clean a chimney.
Right, governor.
So we hope you're all doing well today and watching lots of movies. Today we are going to discuss sequels that are as good, if not better, than the original. A rarity, I think.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often.
It doesn't happen too often, but it certainly happened. And this topic is probably as divisive as remakes, I think.
Yeah, actually. Is this pen work? I want to write down.
It works sometimes.
Okay, here.
Usually people will be very passionate about an original, so that leads to some heated discussions about sequels.
Yeah.
Because there's always that inevitability about when you bring back characters that somebody loves, even if you're excelling in your storytelling, the people already have a connection and a pre-constructed vision of what those characters are, what they would do, what they would say, and how they're going to act. So if any of that varies, you risk losing your audience.
Yeah.
So it's tricky territory, sequels.
Yeah, and it's like if they're just introduced to like characters, you know, and they're blown away by the first one, it's like it's hard to match that excitement and stuff, you know, like, okay, well now what are they doing? I don't know. It's hard to equal the first movie. If the first movie, whatever it is like so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, with this category, the two movies inevitably are the first two discussed.
Oh yeah, I know exactly. And they're
The Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, no, that wasn't it.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think Empire Strikes Back is always the first one brought up as the
crazy.
greatest sequel of all time. Most people will say.
Well, I suppose, yeah.
And I don't disagree. Empire is brilliant.
Yep.
And the other one is always Godfather 2.
Oh shit. Okay, that's true too.
So none of the most classic ones are ones you thought of.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I agree with that. Godfather 2
It's been a long time.
I always think of them as equal, I think.
Since I've seen
because I kind of think of 1 and 2 as one movie.
Right.
So it's kind of hard to separate them. But yeah, there's no need to even to discuss those because who doesn't love either one of those movies?
Yeah.
Despite their first ones being monumental, legendary hits. So what was the first thing on your list?
I was thinking that people always say Aliens and T2.
Yeah, they're on my list too.
Yeah. This makes me think of the opening of Scream 2 when they're talking about if sequels are better.
Yeah.
And they bring that up. And they're like, Aliens, and they're like, fuck you, Ridley Scott. Like, is the best. And they're like, you just have
I think where they become hard to compare is that Aliens, and Terminator 2 are like completely different.
Yeah.
Like Aliens is an action movie.
Yeah, and Aliens a horror movie.
And Aliens a horror movie.
Yeah.
And one's slow burn and one's nonstop.
Yeah.
And then Terminator 1 is really, it's a horror movie.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
And Terminator 2 is an action movie.
Yeah.
With some lighter moments, which Terminator 1 had no light moments.
No.
So it is hard to compare when they're not... Like, it's not like comparing Matrix to Matrix Reloaded because they're both in...
Yeah, they're kind of like on
They're
equal...
the same genre,
yeah.
they're the same feel.
It's just a good
feel.
continuation. Yeah.
But, like, I think I'd have a hard time if I was like, I feel like an Alien movie. Well, I was going to say if I feel like I wouldn't know which one to watch, but I do. I'd go to Alien 3. I can actually hear people on the other side of this podcast going, what? When I said Alien 3.
Yeah. That's a divisive one, too, because the people that love it.
Yeah.
And the people that don't, think it's totally shitty.
Yeah, especially when comparing it to Alien and Aliens.
Oh, yeah.
Most people would say it doesn't even come close.
It's cool
it's
as
a
hell.
personal favorite to me, especially the assembly cut, which is much closer to Fincher's original version. But it's crazy that Fincher he won't even talk about it. If you bring up Alien 3 in an interview, he'll get up and leave. That's
crazy.
But anyway, Aliens and Alien are both brilliant masterpieces.
Yeah.
But so different. And Terminator I remember the summer that Terminator 2 came out. The two big hits of that summer were that and Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Oh,
And I saw both of them, I think, 3 or 4 times in the theater that summer. I was obsessed with both of the movies. And Terminator 2, and again, extended cut of T2.
right.
Far superior.
Yeah.
Because there's stuff missing that
crazy.
explains things.
Yeah, like the T2 malfunctioning and stuff.
Yeah.
After being blown apart.
Yeah, and Arnold being taught how to smile
Oh my
is
God,
great.
that shit's so funny.
Yeah, like there's so many little things that are important. And I think the most essential scene is when Sarah's taking the CPU out of his head and considers destroying it.
Oh, dang. I don't know if
That was all extended cut.
Oh, shit.
And it's
That's crazy.
great discussion between Sarah and John about whether to let him continue functioning. It's brilliant. But for me, Terminator 1 is just, it's so gritty.
Yeah.
And so dark, and it's Grindhouse almost.
Yeah.
It's
Totally.
almost 70s Grindhouse. And Arnold is so good. Like, to think that he really didn't do much before that.
And that they wanted him for Reese.
Yeah,
which
he was going to be Reese. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, in the scope of the story, would have made more sense that the Terminator looks like a regular guy and not like a jacked up bodybuilder.
Yeah.
It makes more sense. But holy crap.
Visually,
did it work.
it works better.
Yeah.
To have.
And Linda Hamilton and Michael Biehn are both like legendary.
Totally.
We could have a whole episode on Michael Biehn, I think.
That dude's had an amazing
Maybe we
career.
will. Yeah, I'd have a tough time with Aliens and Terminator. I have a really tough time deciding if the sequel is superior.
But I mean,
I'd
that's the
say in
thing is
those
that,
cases
like,
they're equal.
Yeah, there can be ones where, because I have a couple that I just titled weird, because I know that the originals are for sure better.
Yeah.
But there are a couple movies that have sequels that I'm just like, my enjoyment is the same as the first one, even though I know the first one's a better movie.
Right.
If that makes
Such
sense.
as?
Back to the Future 2.
Okay. I knew you were going to say that.
Love the Back to the Future 1 is a perfect movie.
Yeah.
And if they had never made any sequels, it would be fine on its own.
Yeah, agreed.
But Back to the Future 2 is so bonkers, like the into the future, into the past, into the future, like skipping around and like Biff stealing the thing, and like it's so.
The funny thing is, I think it's a direct equivalency to compare Back to the Future 1 and 2 to Matrix 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
think it's exactly the same situation.
Yeah.
One is establishing, and it's a perfect story arc, perfect, and
Yeah.
it could be left alone and be a masterpiece.
Yeah.
But then 2 amps it up,
and they're like, let's
jacks
just get
it up,
bonkers with it,
and goes insane.
Yeah.
So I think that even though they're completely different,
Yeah.
I think it's the same comparison.
Totally, yeah. My other one is,
And I don't know that Back to the Future 2 is not as good of a movie.
it's so hard because the first one's so perfect, but the
Yeah.
second one's so great too.
Yeah.
Third one, I like it, but I don't watch it very much.
Yeah. And what was the other one?
Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. I love Bill and Ted.
I've had so many people talking about it lately because of the last movie they did. I guess that I'd have to go back and watch them.
It's
I don't even know if I've seen Bogus Journey.
Oh, really? It's so weird.
Yeah.
Which is what I like about it. It's just they were just like, let's just do everything. Also, William Sadler plays plays Death in it, and he's so funny.
William Sadler.
He's amazing. It's so weird that it's like they literally go to hell, and it's crazy too. Like these crazy, almost like in.
Is any of it crazy, Lee?
It's more crazy than crazy.
Okay, so crazy.
But remember how like Twilight Zone the movie had weird, like the bunny, sequences that were like that, stuff like that,
almost creep show-ish.
Yeah, kind of. And there's stuff like that in Bogus Journey.
Yeah,
when they're in hell, it really.
I'm gonna have to go watch.
But I also I like the first movie is so perfect. I love it. I really enjoyed the third one too. But yeah, I think those movies are kind of underrated in a weird way too. Remember they made a TV series out of it? It was like a live action TV series. It was not good.
Really?
Yeah.
With different people?
Oh yeah, everybody different. And then they also made an animated series, and they used the actual voice actors. The voice actors were like Keanu and Alex Winter.
Wow.
But yeah, there's just something so weird about. There's like aliens in it and stuff. It's
all right.
Robots. Yeah.
I may have to.
Yeah, it's
go into the Bill and Ted universe.
Yeah, they're great. Those are great movies because Bill and Ted aren't like. They're just really positive about everything.
Right.
not like gross.
They were
like
the
a lot
Ted
of
Lassos of their time.
kind of in a way, yeah. Because like a lot of 80s movies, it's like gross dudes and just being big grossos. But Bill and Ted were always just very positive. Everything's great. And they just want everyone to get along. And like the first girls they see that like end up marrying, you know what I mean? They're just it's feel good type.
I always kind of got
humor.
the vibe that Bill and Ted were very close to Keanu and Alex Winter in real life.
Probably,
they both
yeah.
seem like they're genuinely good guys in real life.
Yeah.
Just all about having a good time, guys.
Another one that always comes to mind, of course, is the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy.
Yeah.
Because I think pretty much everybody agrees that Dark
Knight's
is
the
the
best.
superior movie out of the three. And I'm always an outlier when it comes to sequels because I think my personal favorite is the third one,
Oh shit, really?
which a lot of people don't. I think it was just something about Bane connected with me.
Right.
But anyway, I love Dark Knight, and I think most people consider it
Yeah.
pretty much Nolan's masterpiece.
Dark Knight and Batman Begins are like whatever one I'm currently watching. I'm like, I think this one's actually my favorite. But then I watch the other one, I'm like, "Ugh, I think this one's my favorite.
Yeah.
Dark Knight Rises is my least favorite, but I still really like it.
Yeah.
It's crazy that he's only Batman in that movie for about 12 or 14 minutes.
But I think that's a credit to the movie.
Yeah.
You made a Batman movie with Batman in it for 12 minutes and it's still good?
Yeah.
That's
And
saying
Bane
a
was
lot.
great. And yeah, I still really liked it a lot.
Yeah.
It was great. But Dark Knight is so good.
It is great.
So yeah, that also is on my list.
Although I don't think about it as much now that Matt Reeves' Batman has come out.
Oh god, I love that one too.
We'll have another
My
episode
favorite
about it.
Batman. Yep.
And then there's the big franchises, the Fast and Furiouses.
I wrote that. I wrote Fast 5.
Yeah.
Fast 5 is my favorite.
Yeah. Is Fast 5 the one with the safe?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Fast 5 is, I think, pretty widely regarded as the best one.
We've been rewatching them as well. More the later ones, like when they get ridiculous. Like I'm literally laughing out loud watching them because they're so, they've turned into superhero movies.
Oh, absolutely.
Like nobody
100%.
gets hurt.
Yeah.
No matter
100%.
what insane. And it's like, I love that they're so dumb and so ridiculous. Like that's the joy. That's what they are.
It couldn't have gone this far being a franchise about street racing.
No. Oh my God. You know what's something funny is that when they were first creating, like when the script was first written and stuff, it was originally called Street Wars.
Yeah.
Street Wars. And then a producer and now a producer at one point had the great idea and said, no, we should call it Race Wars. And then somebody was like, maybe we shouldn't call this movie Race Wars. Because do you know why? Think about what just came out of your mouth. And they're like, oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Fast and Furious. Like,
Good
Race Wars?
Lord.
You idiots.
Yeah, that's
yeah. But, right? Isn't that insane? Well, they're racing and it's, oh, no. I see what I've done.
So it's about street racers in the clan.
Yeah, the clan of car owners.
Yeah.
I like 5, and then I also really like 8. 8 was like
It would have been funny if they called it Race Wars and the car club was called the Cool Cars Club.
oh my god.
All with K's.
Damn it, I should have said it.
I have a feeling movies wouldn't have done
That's
as
Jay,
well.
our producer, and I've done it again and stolen his thunder.
Yeah, I feel like they wouldn't have done as well, and I think
Probably
I know.
not.
I
Probably
think I
not.
know. Well, I feel like 8 I also love. That was great.
Yeah, I'm pretty much cool with everything after
7 was like, but I get it because that's when Paul Walker died, so they kind of had to like piece together the movie, and you could really tell that they had to do that, but it's nobody's fault, of course.
Yeah.
And then 9's ridiculous. I haven't seen 10 yet.
No, it's
No,
great.
I can't wait.
It's great. But yeah, they're great. And Mission Impossible's the same thing.
Yep.
I love the De Palma original. It's very different from any of the other ones in the series. 2's a train wreck for me. I love John Woo.
Didn't work
but
for me.
No, I didn't. The whole him and the girl in the car, Thandie Newton,
It was just
and
a
the
little
cars
too-
are spinning and they're looking in each other's eyes as the car.
It's a
I
little too
can't do
silly.
it.
Yeah.
I can't do it. But 3 on.
It's like they really
I haven't
found it. They're
not
like,
liked one.
they're like, oh, okay, this is what
It's
these
the
movies
same
should
as
be.
Fast and Furious. Once they got to a certain point, they were like, this is it.
Yeah,
This is it.
We found it.
And and I, as we've discussed in previous episodes, Ghost Protocol is the high point.
It's amazing.
And even it says also something about the quality of the series that you can do one that's as good as Ghost Protocol, then continue doing movies after that aren't as good as Ghost Protocol, but still amazing.
Super enjoyable. Yeah.
Because that says a lot about the quality of the series, and I mean, I know I can't understand it, but I know there's Tom Cruise haters.
Right.
I will never understand it. I think he's the most dedicated movie star in the world, and I fully believe that the foremost thing on his mind every day when he wakes up is
Xenu.
is my audience. No, aside from that,
Yeah.
is my audience happy?
Yeah.
That's his
Yeah,
main
he really
concern.
does like have a passion for movies. I think that most
Yeah.
people don't have. Yeah,
I
it's-
don't care if I don't agree with his personal views. If it works for him, go for it.
Right.
Yeah, Ghost Protocol, I can watch daily if I had to.
Yeah, it's
so good.
It's
the
bananas.
supporting cast: Ving Rhames, Simon Pegg. Come on,
Even it's funny. Even like the Mummy movie he made, still fun.
yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
it was
I
a
didn't
fun
love
time
it, but
waster. I
yeah.
didn't love it either, but he was great.
Yeah, and like the Mummy, she was really cool. She's
Yeah.
a cool actress, and
Yeah.
the Rock showing up as the Scorpion King. Weird.
Even,
No.
yeah. Even in a so-so movie like that, Tom Cruise still went further than anybody else would and did that zero gravity plane scene
Right. Yeah.
where he was like, well, we can't fake that. We actually
Yeah.
have to get up in a plane and do real zero gravity.
Yeah.
And it's like, and now we don't know what it is, but now we got that space station movie coming out.
Oh.
He's actually filming
Oh. Right.
in
Okay.
space.
Yeah, it's-
filming a movie in space.
The next one they're filming at the center of the sun.
God bless him. I just love him. I love the guy. Do you have another one?
I wrote X-Men 2.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah.
X-Men 2.
X-Men 2. Oh, sorry. X-Men 2 and Days of Future Past.
Days of Future
I feel
Past.
like are that actually Days of Future Past is my favorite of the X-Men movies.
I think so. Me too.
It had everything. I think that makes an X-Men movie good.
I agree.
I have kind of a hard time rewatching some of them for whatever reason. I still like them, but they don't, for me, have a lot of rewatchability. I don't
agree.
know why.
I agree. I lean more into the Wolverines.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody completely shit on
The Wolverine?
Origins.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, the Ryan Reynolds Deadpool stuff was ridiculous bullshit. But there's a lot of great stuff in Origins. All his origin story stuff was
there's
awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There's stuff in it I do like. There's stuff.
But I think because of that end part, everybody just shits on it.
There's also like the effects, like his claws straight up look like Roger Rabbit style animation, and I don't know why.
See, and I don't notice that.
Oh man, it's so.
But
I
you've
can't-
always been a like your
Again, I
eyes
guess.
immediately.
Yeah, it's
jump
just
to
a-
bad CG and
Yeah,
But yeah, it's not by far my favorite.
Yeah,
the
I don't
Wolverine
hate it, it's
also.
just- yeah.
The Wolverine also didn't get. It got kind of panned, and I think
I thought it was
to,
really
to
good.
me it's near perfect.
Yeah, I
like
thought it was
for
really
me
good.
it's as good as Logan.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. I love the Japan setting.
yeah.
I
Got
love the ninjas.
and I'm a 10-year-old, so I love ninjas.
Yeah, the whole supporting cast was unbelievable. The
Yeah.
action scenes were unbelievable. Again, the unrated cut is far superior.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
But it was great. And then Logan was unbelievable
really great.
as well.
Yeah.
But
I am looking forward to them rebooting X-Men just
too.
to see. It's
me too. It could use it now.
Yeah. But yeah, Days of Future Past for me, I think, is the best one.
I agree.
Yeah.
Brilliantly put together.
I have. Oh wait, what else did I have here? I have a question mark on this because it's been a while since I've seen these. But this is a as good, not a better. But Lethal Weapon 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. I didn't write it down, but I thought of it today.
Yeah.
When we got here.
It fits perfectly with the first for me.
Yes, they feel like they're the one movie,
Yeah.
1 and 2. And bringing in Patsy Kensit as the love interest was great. She was great. And when you're invested, we could almost do a whole episode about, I don't like franchises that betray characters.
Right. Glass.
Yes, Glass was a big one. Another one for me was Die Hard 3. Die
yeah,
Hard
yeah.
3 on its own, solid movie.
Yeah.
Super fun. But I didn't like that the movie starts out and John McClane's like, yeah, my wife and I are splitting up.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you're not.
You've been through so
You
much.
went through everything in
Yeah.
1 and 2, and at the end of both movies, you were like, oh my God, I love you more than life itself.
And he seems like a drunk, kind of,
yeah, he's like an alcoholic guy who's getting, and it was
Yeah,
like,
it
that's
didn't
not
feel
John
like-
McClane.
Yeah.
That is not John McClane. So that bothered me. And in Lethal Weapon, I felt the same thing a little tiny bit in 3, but
right.
but I think 3 is mainly because the villain was crap. The villain was literally
the bad guy in 3.
it was literally a guy who runs a construction company.
Oh my
like
God.
it was just a dude. It was just a dude.
He's just like a guy trying to do a job.
It was.
That's so
he was
funny.
just like trying to swindle people. Like it was
That's
not,
so funny.
He was a terrible villain. And then even though I find the Joe Pesci stuff funny, I thought he was a mistake to add him to the series.
Did he show? He showed up in 2 though, right? Or was it he showed up in 3?
Yeah, but in 3 he was like
Like a main. He was
more
on the
main
poster.
and over the top.
Yeah.
In 2 he was perfect because he was a
Yeah.
side character.
Yeah.
He was only in bits
Yeah.
and he was funny. But in 3 he was there all
Like
the time.
they were like everyone really
Yeah.
loved this Pesci guy.
Yeah, like in 3 they might as well have just put John Lovitz in the role.
I wish.
You might as well.
Yeah.
And then
Lethal
in 4,
Lovitz.
Lethal Weapon 4,
Oof.
everything about the characters is betrayed.
Boof.
Everything.
Yeah, that was
all of a
pretty-
sudden Mel Gibson can't fight.
Yeah.
Even though in the first movie they discussed
Like,
that
he's
he knows
like a
like
heavy martial
5
artist.
martial arts.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he's throwing trucker punches in 4.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah,
But
it's
1
too
and
bad.
2, absolutely brilliant.
Totally. Also, speaking of like equal 1 and 2s, which we just recently rewatched, Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2.
Brilliant. I didn't write that down.
Yeah.
And absolutely 100%.
They both totally hold up.
Yeah.
2 is as enjoyable. Is like as good.
Hey, Jay, do you agree with that?
1,000%.
Okay.
Yeah.
1,000%. I agree. They're both great action. There's one scene that always bothers me in part 1, but it's okay. We won't just.
Those two are definitely tied with part 3.
Oh, brother.
That can be in our terrible sequels.
We were going to
episode.
watch part 3, but it wasn't streaming anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Just to like
I
finish them
rewatched
out.
it a couple of years ago, and yeah.
It's just not. It just didn't hold up, I
No.
feel like, right?
It was everything but Eddie. Like,
Right.
Eddie was all right in it. He
Yeah.
was still Axel. He was pulling it off, but everything was dumb.
Yeah. A little like over the top goofiness.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's what I remember.
But
about
yeah,
3.
Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2 are both super awesome.
Yeah.
Another one that I'll bring up is Devil's Rejects.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Right.
I can't believe I forgot that.
House of a Thousand Corpses. Hated it when I first saw it. I've grown to appreciate it for what it is.
yeah.
But holy cow, to compare
It's night and
House of
day.
a Thousand Corpses to Devil's Rejects.
Yeah.
Devil's Rejects will always be known as Rob Zombie's masterpiece.
Yeah.
I don't care what he makes in the future.
Yeah.
It will be his
I
masterpiece.
have not seen the Munsters.
No, it's probably a good thing. But yeah, Devil's Rejects is just
It's far.
Brilliant.
I think also House was like, it was his first movie, right? So it's like I think was trying to figure out a lot
Yeah,
of
for
stuff. And I
sure.
think he's even talked about that.
Yep.
But yeah, Rejects.
I don't blame
far
him
and
for
away.
any of the reasons I don't like House.
No,
of
no, of
Thousand
course.
Corpses.
It
But
was still fine. It
Rejects was so. It was the most 70s grindhouse movie that's not been made in the 70s.
Totally.
It was so brilliant.
Yeah.
And I knew from the day I saw it that I would have a cosmic connection to it.
Right.
I don't know if I told you this story.
You watched it in space.
No. I lived just on the edge of Oshawa and Whitby, and I was walking to the Whitby theaters to
Right.
see it on a summer day. And I had my iPod with me, and I had just loaded the iPod with new songs and a bunch of stuff I haven't really listened to before.
Right.
And one of the bands I was listening to that I had never listened to before really was the Allman Brothers.
Okay.
So as I'm walking to the movie theater
Oh,
to see The
funny.
Devil's Rejects, I heard the first song they play in Devil's
Oh,
Rejects,
ding,
and I
ding,
heard it
ding.
for the first time.
That's so
Like
crazy.
I'd probably heard it on the radio
Sure.
in the past, but I've never noticed it.
yeah.
So first time ever on my iPod, and I listened to it,
That's so neat.
and that whole
like, yeah. Can't do anymore. We'll get.
no.
We'll have to pay them.
So I listened to that, and then I sit down in the theater, and the screen starts,
Like,
and it's
oh,
that
shit,
song,
what are
and
the
I'm
odds?
like, come on,
Yeah,
And then
that's
I
cool.
walk out of the theater just being like, well, this is my new obsession,
Yeah.
and I was Rejects all the way after that.
Yeah. I totally agree. I can't believe I forgot to write them down. And what are we doing for time?
we're
Like 5 minutes? 5, 6 minutes? 6 minutes? Say me, 6 minutes. And welcome to the studio, Jay Leno.
Good movies. I screwed over Conan. Doesn't matter.
I wrote, and this might be I think I enjoy this one more than the first, even though I really enjoyed the first. And I know this is kind of a debated, it depends on the person. 28 Weeks Later.
Yes, I didn't write that one down either, but I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
I love 28 Days Later.
Sure.
Great
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
But I think 2 is such an intense roller coaster
The
ride.
opening scene alone is like,
Opening scene ranks
bonkers.
up as one of the best opening scenes of all
Yeah.
time. I had a discussion with somebody, I don't remember who, about that movie, and they were like, I didn't like it. And I'm like, why? And they're like the kids could just get out and wander around London. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure they established in the movie that they have like a skeleton crew and barely anybody.
oh,
there.
yeah.
So I don't think it'd be that hard.
Yeah.
And they think the city's clear at that point. So why would
Totally,
anybody
yeah.
care? But that movie is like breakneck pace. Jeremy Renner's great.
Yep.
The action is
what's his name? Robert
off.
Carlyle?
Robert Carlyle.
Yeah.
Oh
Holy
my
shit.
God. Oh my God. Especially when he
Creepy.
turns.
Yeah, creepy
When
as hell. It's
yeah.
and scary. Like,
Yeah,
Jesus,
totally scary.
when he turns and like kills his wife is
Yeah.
like awful.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, that's all right. There was something in an earlier episode you totally spoiled, and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, but can you spoil something from like a 20-year-old?
No, that's true. That's true. There's a limit, right?
Yeah.
You ruined it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. 28 Weeks Later is such a breakneck pace horror movie. Top tier. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it.
I have only one other thing, and this is I enjoy it as much as the original.
And we're out of time.
No more opinions. Although I know it's not a perfect movie, I just really liked it. But and it's I guess a sequel. I really like the new Candyman.
Oh yeah. Well,
I mean, it's like
I guess it is a sequel
I
because
guess it's
they
like what they
mention the
call a
characters.
requel, you know, like because they
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
not
dismissed
really because
2
they
and 3.
specifically mentioned the
Yeah, oh yeah, I
characters
mean
in
it's
the first, so I guess that-
it's kind of like the Halloween 2018 where it's connected to the original, right?
Yeah,
I super liked the new one.
me too.
I wish it would have been like 15 minutes longer towards the end because it was like a pretty quick.
I get
all
that.
of a sudden, oh shit! Now he's like kind of
Yeah.
fucked up, and that guy's cutting his hand off and stuff.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. But I loved.
The feel of the whole movie
I
was
love the
amazing.
feel of it. It was directed so well. All the actors, and I loved what they kind of turned Candyman like into,
Yeah.
like what he was about. And it's funny because I never had thought about this before.
Although I've heard a lot of people talk about that, how he's made more sympathetic in the second one, and I'm like,
He's
there was a lot of
sympathetic.
sympathy for him in the first one.
Absolutely.
They really explain a lot of that in the first one as well.
Yeah, like why? So yeah, it's something I had never thought of before, which I'm like, oh shit, until I watched that Shudder documentary, Horror Noir, which is an amazing documentary.
Yeah, it's great.
The history of like black horror cinema, and they talked about Candyman, and they said that it's apparent that it was like white creators because Candyman was killed because of racism, right? And then he comes back and he like haunts like his own community for some, like I know that like his spirit was in the Cabrini Green area, but it's like why he was killed but because of a racist white guy, you know, back then. It's like, why would he be haunting like his own community? So I love that in the new movie, it was like all black creators and stuff, and it was more reason behind why Candyman
legitimized it, sort
it
of?
legitimized it, and it made so much more sense.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck yeah, that's right. Like I loved it. I loved what they did with it. I loved the shadow puppet stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my god, so creative.
And the apartment scene.
Oh my god!
From outside
that
the
was
window?
bananas with his art. Yeah,
Brilliant.
see, it's like that's the only thing I was kind of like that. Somebody died in front of his artwork, and then the person that people knew he had a meeting with died, and he was like never questioned by the cops and stuff. Like he would have been like on the suspect list somewhere.
Yeah.
But still, I loved it. I was
me
really
too.
blown away by it.
Me too.
Yeah.
It was awesome. And the transformation at the end was amazing.
Yeah. Oh my god, I love that. You know,
awesome.
obviously, I would have loved to see Tony Todd in it more even, but I'm still fine that they didn't.
Yeah.
Because
Same.
I like that it's like a generational thing that Candyman has to carry on.
And I still love the
generations.
original is still one of my all-time favorites.
I rewatched that one a little while ago too.
What I love about that movie is even though it's from 92,
Mm-hmm.
when I watch it now on Blu-ray, I love that they mixed every time Candyman speaks, it's in every speaker.
Oh, amazing.
So when you're watching it in surround sound, it's like people are talking in the front and there's just atmosphere.
Yeah.
And then every time he talks, it's all around your head. Yeah, when he does that, it's everywhere.
Yeah. God, Tony Todd's the best.
I love that they paid attention to that when they mastered it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Because they couldn't have. They might have just made it in the dialogue channel.
Yeah.
But I love that they paid attention to that. And for me, that elevates the movie.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I love Tony Todd.
Yeah.
He's so great.
He's great.
That's all I have, I think, on
Yeah, I think we did. There's a few others. Ouija, Origin of Evil.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah. First one's a basic runner.
yeah.
The interesting thing is the first one's a really kind of typical average horror movie, and yet it's bettered by the sequel.
Yeah.
Because if you watch the sequel, Mike Flanagan, brilliant.
Of course.
And then you go back and watch the first one, it's better than it was before.
Absolutely.
Because of the sequel.
Yep. I love that was a great one. Holy shit.
Yeah, I love it. But that's and Dawn of the Dead maybe. But I don't know if it tops Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, true. It could be one of those as good.
Yeah, as good, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, though, completely different animals.
Very.
Like
super,
you and me.
super different. Yes.
Yeah.
You are a giraffe. I am a walrus. I don't know.
Okay, Paul McCartney.
Look at you. And keep rambling on.
Well, thanks Thanks for joining us again on Real Ramblers. Go out and check out a sequel, good or bad. Give it a shot. And we'll see you next time. Want to sign us off with the usual sign-off that we always use on every episode, Lee?
Absolutely. Da-da-da-da-da. I'm rambling it. You ramble too. I'm
see you
so
next
ashamed.
time, folks. Take care.
Thanks for listening to The Real Ramblers. Follow us on Instagram at Real Ramblers. That's REEL Ramblers. And you can follow Lee at Lee Howard _art and Bill at JustTheBill1138.